This beautiful place is in Blackheath, in the Blue Mountains, near Sydney. It is a Vipassana meditation centre called Dhamma Bhumi. I am Christian Lugnan, a Guri from Gumbaynggirri country in northern New South Wales, and this is one place I come to deepen my meditation practice. I'm living in Canberra with my beautiful wife, son, and we have another baby on the way. We've been working in Aboriginal affairs for about 10 years, mostly in the accounting field. Dhamma Bhumi is a very special place. Here, as in our traditional Dreamtime teachings, every living being is valued and protected, as is every part of the land and the vegetation. It was here I sat my first Vipassana course and gained a wonderful tool to help me deal with whatever comes in my life. It helped me become a more peaceful and happy person. Vipassana meditation is a simple way of learning to be still in your mind and body, and to watch them as a natural process within. It's a meditation technique, not a religion, and it is compatible with all religions. In fact, many Christian priests and ministers, as well as leaders of other religions, have attended courses. When you practice Vipassana, you learn just to watch your body and mind and the interaction between the two. All the pain, frustration, anger and addictions stored up inside the mind start to come out and be released silently. Even great traumas from the past come up and get released. Vipassana starts with living a good life and trying not to harm others, but it goes much deeper than this too. When you practice it every day, it becomes a wonderful way of keeping your mind positive and healthy. You will become happier and calmer, less reactive and angry with your family and community, more caring and helpful. Your newfound calmness will rub off on the other members of your family and community, and bring peace where before there was conflict and unhappiness. There are no gurus involved. It is up to you to do the work and gain the personal benefits from this form of healthy exercise for the mind. Vipassana could be really helpful for Aboriginal and Torres Islander people. With me here is Uncle Harold, who recently sat his first course.
Hello, I'm Harold Hunt. I'm a 79-year-old Aboriginal from the corner country of western New South Wales, the far western area, Tipperary, Winaring, White Cliffs, Broken Hill, all that part. And I belong to the Mullingupper people, and our totem is Ngamba, the bony brim fish. My parents separated when I was about 8, and we moved to Winaring, and Mum raised us there in tin shacks that we built ourselves right on the bank of the Paroo, a mile from the town. And Winaring, for those that are not sure, it's 120 miles west of Burke. I did stock work and general bush work, and then I went shearing for a good while and knocking around the country. And I'm an alcoholic. I sniffed petrol and glue at school, and then I got onto booze. I drank for 27 years, and then I kicked that. And after I was off at about 6 years, the New South Wales Health Commission started recruiting recovered alkies and junkies to train as counsellors, and I was one of the people that survived that and worked for a time. So that got me into the thing of working with people and attending every sort of bit of a course that was going, different sorts of therapies and all that sort of thing. And I had 2 years in Aboriginal health in Redfern, and I joined the Aboriginal health section. And I had 8 years there altogether, and then I moved sideways into corrective services. I had 4.5 years in that, 2 years on the parole board. So I've been around and doing all these working with people things, and I found it strange coming out of the bush and working in that field, you know, with psych nurses and psychologists and all that sort of thing. And I knew about feelings with animals. I could connect with animals with non-verbal communication, but then I found it strange when I found with people. But I got used to that, and you know, as I said, I've had a good life and knocked around. But a few years ago, my youngest son Malcolm told me he'd done a Vipassana course, and I said, "What's that?" And he gave me a rough outline of what it was about, and I thought, "Oh yeah, well, good for you." Yes, he said, "It was a big help. I enjoyed it." "You ought to try it sometime, Dad." And I said, "Oh yeah." And I thought, why does he think I need something like that? He might have been a bit of a mess and needed, but why does he think I do? I'm travelling pretty good. So I didn't worry too much about it. Didn't worry about it at all, really. And then only this year, a few months ago, he told me then that there was a Vipassana course run for Aboriginal people, and he said, "You might give it a go, Dad." And I thought, well, here he goes. He thinks must think I'm a bit scattered again, that he's... I said, "Oh yeah, I'll think about it." And I did think about it, and I'd had a fairly rugged year, actually. I'm pretty tired, and I was finding I was getting easily irritated and and unable to focus and getting restless, and I had no reason for it that I could see of. But it was to the extent that I don't like where it's at. I started thinking about finding myself a counsellor, and then I thought, well, how am I've got to find a counsellor that will understand where I'm at. And then I talked to Malcolm a bit more about the Vipassana course, and he said, "Well, Dad, you won't regret it." And I cleared the deck. There was no work situations, no family situations. I had no excuse whatsoever. I had 2 or 3 weeks that I could say, well, I don't have any commitments. So yes, I applied. I got into it, and I was a bit worried with a couple of things. I thought, well, there's no talking for 10 days. A lot of people say, "Harold, I couldn't stop talking for 10 minutes," but I know different to that. And then I was worried about the no evening meal, and but anyway, once I got onto the scene, and anyway, because of my age and health, I suppose I was able to have a small meal, and what I was having was about half the size of the evening meals that I usually have, but I felt good about that. And the food was great. I liked that. But about the second day, it struck me of the importance of not speaking. I couldn't understand that from the beginning, and but I could see the value in it from then on. And I went to do something one day, and I thought, I wonder what they'd think of what I'm doing now. And then I thought, they were not thinking anything. They're not interested in me. People are here for themselves. And I've wanted to meditate for years, and I tried in different ways, but never quite sure. Never got anything from it, but I didn't know how to. But in this course, we were instructed as to how to meditate, and when that started to happen, I could see value in that. I may have a bit of uncovered stuff there, that's some issues that need to be resolved that I don't even know about, and but it doesn't matter. I'll just go through it. And I found it a bit difficult sitting still for an hour at a time, and then you get up and stretch and go. And then there was times I'd want out, and then I think, well, what if I do leave now? What do I do? Just stand on the sideline and look back and say, why aren't you in there finishing it off? What's the worst that can happen? How difficult is this? And I found out, well, it wasn't difficult at all. It was just that I think while I was wanting to get out, I was in a situation that I'd never been in before. I had nothing to react to. I watch a lot of television and that type of stuff, and I'm always doing something. Pretty busy character. And here I was, I had nothing to do. I had no idea what was going on outside. No reading, no radio, no television. And I felt good about it. And then I started, I was looking forward to the end. And then I went through a short period of thinking, well, here we go again, getting up early, another day, same old thing. But it was never the same old thing. Whilst the actual progress of the whole thing was pretty similar, what was going on in my mind was never the same. It was always something new. And so I found out that this whole thing was worth it. All I've got to say now, I'll get back on to Malcolm. I used to, as I said, I wondered why he thought I needed it. I was able to thank him because what he gave me was a gift. You know, it's, of all the different therapies I've done, and this is a non-religious thing, any religion or none, and I'm not a religious person, but scared of it. I used to be, but I'm not now, but I'm a spiritual person, and I found it just opened up areas for me. It made me feel good, free in the mind. The fact that I'd had 10 or 11 days without any television or newspapers or anything like that, I'd lost absolutely nothing. So my message is today that, you know, anyone thinking they might like to try it, you know, give it a whirl. You won't regret it. I know for me, it's one of the best things that's happened in my life. And at my age, I'm 79. I'll be 80 at the end of this year. And but that's all right. That's another story. I don't associate years with age anyway. But what I'm saying is, it's never too late. And I'm going to have some more of it actually. Later on I'll do another 1 or 2 short courses and then another 10-day one. So I'm looking forward to it when the weather warms up a bit, of course. So that's enough for me. So all the best, and if you're looking for something extra in your life, give this a go. It works.
My name is Christian Lugnan. I'm a guru from the Gumbaynggirri people of northern New South Wales, around Coffs Harbour. This meditation technique, Vipassana, I've been practicing now for about 3.5 years. I guess the reason why I came in to start the practice was the fact that I was having quite a few relationship issues, some personal issues, and I was seeking some counselling. Now the counselling was working quite well, but for me it wasn't working deep enough. I felt that I was still chasing my tail. I wasn't getting ahead with things. It was quite repetitive, and it was nothing that I could actually take away, learn and gain insight and some benefits from myself. So a counsellor recommended the technique to me, recommended it through just watching a video, and said just take the video away, have a look at it, see what you think. And that's what I did. It took me a couple of years to watch the video because I was fairly hesitant at first, but then when I was ready to have a look at it, it changed my perspective on other avenues in life, other ways of dealing with issues and healing oneself. So once I watched the video, I thought, fantastic, I'll have to try this technique out. I came along on my own. No one persuaded me, told me too much what it was about. I knew that I could gain some benefits, and that's, I guess, the reason why I did come along. And it was time out for myself as well. I think often, you know, we're too wrapped up in our communities, with our families, trying to solve other people's problems. And I think a lot of the time we should just be looking within ourselves and to work from the inside out. So I came and did the 10-day course. It was challenging. I got a lot of benefit out of it, some great relief. I learnt a lot about myself, my weaknesses and strengths, and the journey just continued from there. I'm living in Canberra. I've been down there for about 10 years now, working in Aboriginal affairs in the accounting field mostly. I've recently got married to a Bundjalung woman and have a wonderful stepson, and we have another baby on the way. So life's really good, and I think with this technique you start to appreciate things more so in your life, and you know, people around you, the things that are really important. And I find that you have a lot more interest in everything else as well, cultural interest, you know, work, family, everything just comes alive. It's quite incredible. But of course that comes with the technique. You have to practice the technique. It's not something that once you sit a 10-day course, everything's fine and dandy, because it's not like that at all. It's like anything in life. You have to work at it, you have to look after it, you have to support it, you have to nurture it. So it's an ongoing journey for me. It's one that I'd like as many people to get established in as possible. Not because I gain any great benefit out of it or anything like that, it's because once you've had a taste of it, it's something you want to share with people. And so that's, I guess, why I practice it, because it has a lot of practical benefits that one can use every day in their lives.
Virginia said, oh look, I've got to do this, because I need something like that, and I'll give it a go. She's one of the leading figures in turning Wilcannia around. Wilcannia was, when I left there in 92, it was dead. It's been dying for years, but it's turned around, it's coming back up, and a few very strong women there. My mother raised 8 of us there on the bloody riverbank at Wanaring, a mile from the town. How many men could do that? Oh no, women are all the stronger sex. But if you get someone like that, Virginia, she gets in there, it'll help her do what she's doing. See, and another thing I thought about, as I read some of the letters I write to newspapers and attack politicians and bureaucrats and that, well, I decided after that I'll keep writing, but instead of attacking them, I'll just present my view, which clearly are the opposite. Well, I've been living by that. I heard a bloke say years ago, situations don't create problems, it's my reaction to them. And I thought, how real. So I've tried to live that. But then when I did that course, I realized I was still reacting in other smaller little ways that I didn't realize. And I've always known that physical and mental went together, but I didn't realize they were actually one. There's not two things going together. They're one. Yeah.